Hello, good day, children. I want to welcome you to class today. This is your music lesson for this week. This is for Basic 1. So, what the topic we have today? Musical notes value. So, what we want to do today is we want to learn about some musical notes. I want to know their value, relating one to the other. Okay. Now, what are the objectives we are looking at today? At the end of the lesson, pupils should be able to mention the two musical notes we are going to learn today. We're just going to learn two today out of about 8 musical notes. So we're going to learn just 2 of them today. This basic one. When you get to the next class, you learn like maybe 2 more to make it 3 or 4 and on like that. Then secondly, we want to be able to say the value of the musical notes correctly. Should be able to say the value of the 2 musical notes we are going to learn today correctly. Then 3, should be able to draw them correctly as well. Should be able to know how to draw those 2 musical notes we are going to learn about today. Now, just get your pen, sit down quietly, and be attentive as we go into the lesson fully. Now, musical notes. The value of musical notes depend on the time signature in use in a musical composition. What these 2 lines are saying is this, that the value of any musical note you put up in any time or in any composition you've put together, the value of any musical note in that musical composition depends on the time signature of that musical composition. That may be a little bit above your level now. When you get to like basic 3 or 4, you learn about musical or time signature, sorry. So when you learn about time signature, you will have a clear understanding of what I'm trying to say. But just know it and let it register in your mind that the value of any musical note depends on the time signature that is used in that composition. This means that the duration of any musical note changes whenever the time signature changes. Can you imagine that? That once the time signature changes, the value of that musical note, or as many of them as are used in that composition, are likely to be changed. That is the determinant or the determining factor of the value of any musical note is the time signature. Once the time signature changes, there's possibility that the value of any musical note used in that composition will change as well. And why is it so? What is the reason? It is because at this point, let me just show you something. It is, let me use my point to show you this. Look at this line. It is because the brief, this musical note, the brief, look at how it looks like an egg shape with 2 vertical line, slant line, not standing straight vertically as they're supposed to be properly, but a little bit bent. So this is called brief. When you see this, like an egg shape, not a perfect circle, over in shape like an egg, with 2 strokes at each side of the shape, the egg shape we're talking about, that musical note is called brief. Now, this is because the brief note is not always used. Can you imagine? This musical note is not always used in musical composition in this modern time. In the olden days, some centuries back, in the 17th, the 15th, the 16th, the 14th century, this musical note was used regularly in composition. But now, in this era, from I think 19th, 20th, and 21st century, these musical notes, many composers stopped using them in the composition. So it is the semi-brief this. Look at this. It is the semi-brief. Difference between brief and semi-brief is that a brief has two strokes at both sides of the egg-shaped circle, but this one just ordinary egg shape without any stroke. That's the difference between brief and semi-brief. So it is because it is semi-brief note that is used as the standard for assessing the value of other music notes. That is, any musical note you put together, either crochet, meaning they all draw their value. They all draw their value from this musical note, semi-brief. That is, whatever the value of value given to semi-brief is what goes down to other smaller music notes in music. So that is just the reason why musical notes changes in their values anytime time signature changes. But just know, for the sake of exam or test, have it at the back of your mind that in this modern time, brief is no longer used in musical composition. That is one fact you need to understand. And secondly, that the standard for assessing the value of other musical notes is semi-brief. I often ask this question in exam, so take note of it. I can ask you like this: which musical note is used as the standard for assessing the value of other musical notes? You tell me it is semi-brief. Okay? So that is all about that. So let's go further. Now, I want to show you a table. Below is a table which shows the name of and the value of two musical notes we want to learn today. Look at the table here. Look at the first column, you have name, notes. Second one, name. The third one, value. Now, these are the two musical notes we want to learn today, the first one and the second one. The first one is just like an egg. If you want to draw, if you are, no many of you, you've seen an egg, and many of you even like eating, I know you very well. You like eating eggs so much. So when you look at your egg, look at the shape of an egg. Just try to put that up. Use your pencil. Draw it like an egg. When you draw an egg, that is a semi-brief. That is what? A semi-brief. Now, what is the value of semi-brief? One note. That's just it. Or you call it O note. Either call it one note or you just simply say O note. Then look at the second one, meaning. Look at, just draw, once you have successfully drawn this semi-brief, just put a stroke by the right side, put a stroke up. If it is by the left side, the stroke goes down. Okay? At the right side, the stroke goes up. Not the two at the same time. You can choose. Either you want to make your stroke to go upward, put it at the right side upward like this. If you want it to go down, put it downward. Either of the two. So when it goes upward, it looks like small letter D. But if it goes downward, it looks like small letter P. That is your meaning. And the value of that note, which is made of meaning, the value is half note. That is, a meaning is half of semi-brief, which means two meaning notes make one semi-brief. I often ask this question in exam as well. Two meaning notes make one semi-brief. I can ask you, how many meaning notes make one semi-brief? Just tell me two meaning notes. Or in other way around, I can say a semi-brief contains how many meanings? You tell me a semi-brief contains two meanings. So that is just about it. Now, finally, before I tell you bye-bye, your assignment is found in your music textbook, Music Made Easy, book 1. Turn to pages 54 to 56, numbers A to J. Just look at just go through. Once you see, you understand what to do. They tell you to draw the note, put up, down, and ask you some questions from what I've said so far, like asking you, how many notes did we learn today? 2 of them. Then mention the 2 notes we learned today, semi-brief and meaning. Then, how many meaning notes make one semi-brief? You tell me 2 meaning notes make one semi-brief. Or if I ask you, a semi-brief note contains how many meanings? you tell me a semi-brief note contains two meanings. And I told you, if you want to draw semi-brief, just like the shape of an egg, shape of an egg, shape of an egg. But if it is minimum you want to draw, after you've drawn the shape of an egg, you put your stroke by the right side upward. If you want to go downward, just draw the shape of an egg and put your your stroke downward by the left. So if it is downward by the left side, it's going to look like small letter P. But if it is upward, now let me see, maybe I can show you this briefly. Let me get my pen, maybe look at, not be too perfect. This is semi brief. If it is minimum you want to draw, put your stroke upward to the right, or after you've drawn like this, then you put your stroke by the left side. This is a minimum, this is a minimum, either of the two. And this one is a semi-brief. It may not look very well. Okay, so practice over and over again. You will get what I'm saying. Okay, so that's all about the lesson for today. So please do your assignment and send it to me on WhatsApp as usual for marking and for proper recording. So till I come your way next week, bye bye. Stay safe and be good. Thank you.